Weeds can be the most valuable plants in the garden. My grandpa's rolling over in his grave. I just spent money on his worst enemy. Now, I don't know why I wrote this down. I believe I just didn't want to forget. But the enemy of my grandfather, I'm not sure why so many plants are considered weeds when they feed so many people from time to time. I think it has to do with either they don't transport well, store well, or there's just so much around nobody will actually pay for it. And this is one of those. Growing up and hoeing my grandfather's garden, the way this weed was described, I grew up thinking it was the most deadly plant on the planet, when in fact it is full of good things that we all need. The villain in my garden, the one my grandfather chased his entire life, that would be lamb's quarter. You know, it grows over 6 feet tall, and it is just full of vitamins and protein and other things that we need. And during the Depression, they actually canned it. A weed is basically any plant you don't want to have around the plants you want to have around. And right here, this is considered an invasive species. Helianthus tuberosus, earth apple, Jerusalem artichoke, native to North America. It fed the indigenous people for centuries before it made it over to Europe. I think that's where they got the name Jerusalem. Now in Italy, they called it girasol, and they used their hands. It was a big motion. And I think it got translated into Jerusalem. Now we haven't been able to find this anywhere, but it tastes like an artichoke. Artichokes were native to Italy, so Jerusalem artichoke. It's weird how things get their names. And as I've embraced the chaos of the mixed deep mulch garden, I've created an ancient pantry. I've got free food coming up everywhere. This is a volunteer. Let's take a look at a few more volunteers that my grandfather would have pointed out with a hoe and said, "Get that out of here." And right here, we've got two growing right on top of each other. We've got a curly dock, which is a very heavy taproot. We also have a dandelion, which is a very heavy taproot. And I would have been yelled at as a kid to make sure I got all of that root out, because we've got to get rid of these weeds. You can eat the entire dandelion.
Dandelions are not weeds, but they're from the same family as sunflowers. And up into the 1800s, people used to get rid of grass to plant dandelions. Dandelion seeds can go up to 5 miles. 1 cup of dandelion greens equals 535% of your daily recommended vitamin K and 112% of your recommended vitamin A. Every part of the dandelion is edible. The dandelion flower also has antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties.
So is it worth acting like a weed and pulling them up? Or do we just want to eat them? Now these young leaves are really tender and mild. They're called dandelion. They're the lion's tooth leaf. You can see
it's pointed at the front and the teeth go back. And when they're coming up young like this, they are very mild. They're not bitter at all.
We're not going to get down to the roots today, but we're going to take a look at some of the flowers. So the next time you see a dandelion, remember, they're pretty darn good. They're really good. The stem's just a little bitter, but the flowers are very nice. A couple things you want to watch out for when you're picking dandelion leaves. You want to make sure nobody has sprayed anything around it. You also want to make sure you haven't had a dog or a cat do their business. You also want to make sure you don't have any bugs on there. There is one concern. If you are allergic to pollen, you're not going to want to eat these raw. They say the little cup at the bottom that holds the flower is a little bitter. You can just eat the petals. Oh man, that's pretty good. When they get a little older, yeah, they get a little tough, but that's just about everything. Look at me. I'm a tough old bird. You may know we let a lot of things go to seed. And this is a patch of weeds that's actually one of the world's most popular superfoods. It feeds tons of people and has for thousands of years. It makes a great fodder. You can use every part of the plant. It's amaranth. Look how tall that amaranth is. Now in some parts of the world that's called a weed. But the thing about amaranth, you can eat the leaves, you can eat the seeds. It's really good fodder for all kind of farm animals. So where it's a weed in some areas, it's essential food in other areas. It's got a pretty cool flower also, and it comes in a variety of colors. I started planting it because it was really cool looking. And it's got little bitty seeds. That's just how fast you can clean up your amaranth. We got a pretty nice little pile there. You can do this too. Take a handful of seeds and turn it into a bounty. Really good grain. Go check it out in the supermarket. You'll see, by just letting it go to seed and making your own, you can save tons of money. Free food. Now Grandpa would also look at this and just say, why did you leave all those weeds? Well, it's a plantain. We have a plant that most people would just grab and pull up and throw away. We've got a volunteer plantain weed, and bananas are referred to plantains. They're nowhere near the same. This particular weed is completely edible. The leaves have amazing properties when it comes to relieving and eliminating stings. These leaves right here, these long serrated leaves, and these seed pods, now you see these everywhere and you just dismiss them, but they're very edible. That just shows you if you look real close in your garden, you're gonna find all kinds of really cool surprises. It went to seed last year and it kind of laid in a nice little patch right here. And this is cilantro. It just comes up on its own. It's not a weed, it's coriander. But it comes up like a weed. And we got some more amaranth. And I keep telling you I'm itching to plant. Well, we got our potatoes in and we got some peas in. And we've got a lot of volunteers bringing up free food everywhere. The thing about all those volunteers, if they're in our way, we just move them out of the way. We've got another patch of sunchokes coming up right over here by our artichokes and our asparagus. Look at that. This is why we do it. Because it tastes great. So your volunteers, your perennial patch, they all go in the same bucket. Free food. You know, in some definitions of weeds, this clover, these dandelions, these volunteer beets, the amaranth, these will all be considered weeds. We'd want to get them out of here, dig them up, till them up. That's putting nitrogen in the ground. That's feeding the life in the soil. Has anybody ever said you can't have enough beets? So one man's weed is another man's treasure. You can do this too. Until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Just in time for spring planting. The cycle is out in paperback. Check out the description box below if you're interested. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.